The NHL just screwed the Penguins, and I will explain what I mean by that. Michael Bunting was at the center of everything that occurred today against the Senators. The Penguins fell into the trap and played Ottawa Senators hockey instead of Pittsburgh Penguins hockey, and that is why they just lost 5-0. It was a game to forget for everybody up until the third period where the Penguins were starting to build a little bit of momentum. They remembered how to play hockey, guys. That's good news because there's another game tomorrow. We have to break it all down, okay? There's plenty to talk about here. A game to forget, but there are some lessons to take from this game. So we're going to dive into it here on Penguins Digest. Hey, even the difficult ones, it's our job to come to you with this content and cover it, even if it's not the greatest news ever. And in this case, it's pretty bad news. Losing 5-0 on home ice. Not a great Saturday for the Pens, but we got the Steelers coming on later. So we'll get into what happened, what transpired in the Penguins-Senators game. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, most of you are not yet subscribed to the channel, but a lot of you have been subscribing to the channel, and we genuinely appreciate that. So keep it up. Hit that sub button below, and we will continue to provide the latest news and updates surrounding the Pittsburgh Penguins, including a 5-0 devastating loss to the Ottawa Senators. First thing I got to talk about is, well, you saw the title of the video, so I'm going to explain how the NHL screwed the Penguins in this one. Well, the refs allowed the game to get out of hand. And I might have lost some of you there, but I am a former ref, so I can critique referees because I understand how hard it is to do their job. And I'm not going to blame the refs for this loss. I'm not going to be that person that's like, oh, the refs cost us the game. Oh, if they would have called a penalty there. No. When you have a game like this, being a referee is the last thing you want to be, and it is a very difficult task to keep a game in check and to keep players under wraps. And it's very difficult when both teams want to get chippy, physical, and do some illegal stuff. The reason we have a rule book in the first place is to make sure players can't do whatever they want. Do you want it to just be gladiators going out there on the ice and just, fighting to the death? No, there are rules for a reason, and the referees called plenty of penalties in this game. I'm not saying that was the problem. They definitely liked to blow the whistle in this game. There is no doubt about that as we look at the penalties that were called, and it fills up an entire graphic. So there's proof right there that there were a ton of penalties called. The third period, the Senators just didn't even try. Penguins dominated the third period. They didn't have any goals to show for it. Going against a young goaltender like they did, they couldn't put one goal past him, but he was lights out. Still penalty after penalty. I've never seen, and it's been a minute. I'm not saying I've never seen it, but it's been a minute since I've seen this many penalties in a game. I mean, it's absolutely bonkers to see that many penalties called. But as a ref, really the only thing you can do is blow the whistle. That's your power. That's your superpower that you have when you're out there on the ice, is blowing the whistle. You can stop play whenever. You can try to control players by calling penalties and, like I said, trying to keep things in check, keep things under wraps. But it becomes out of hand sometimes, right? If a team really wants to play chippy, they're going to get chippy. And that's how the Senators really play. That's their brand of hockey. They're one of those teams. They're very physical. They want you to fall into that trap. And the Penguins did today. The Senators played Senators hockey. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it because we've played them so many times, and these games are usually like this. Not to this extent, I would say, but the Senators are a team that plays us this way. They're a team that's a very good hockey team. They were on a 4-game losing streak, and they came out for vengeance today. They took a point from the Penguins. I mean, they came out swinging. They were all over the ice, dominating the pace of play. I mean, if you look at the stats, it's not like anything super significant, but if you just watch the game, the Penguins were a step behind. The Sens were razor sharp. There were multiple moments where, like, even the goal by Tim Stützle, the puck, the ref's job, and I'll tell you, because again, I'm a ref, the ref's job is to blow the whistle whenever he can no longer see the puck. So the fifth goal that was scored on Ned by Tim Stützle, the puck was under Alex Nedeljkovic, but the referee was behind him. So if he sees any movement whatsoever, if that puck is just peeking out through the legs of Nedeljkovic just a little bit, that it's loose, he does not have to blow the whistle. So fans are going to be angry about that goal. But if you zoom in you can see the puck moving distinctly. It's not anything super distinct, like super clear and obvious, but you can see it. So Tim Stützle, being the best player on the team and probably the best player on the ice today for the Senators, he had the awareness to see that puck loose, and the Penguins defense let him go, get that puck, and bury it. That's on the defense for not getting that puck. I mean, your defenseman can just kind of go into the crease and just keep that puck under Nedeljkovic and keep it frozen. But if it starts to move like that and you're not aware enough to go and try to prevent that from happening, instead of coming into one side into the blue paint and keeping that puck out, you chase him around like it's tag or something, and then bang, it's a goal. So it was a very difficult game to watch. That was one of the moments I really didn't like, but I also didn't like Nick Cousins. Now, this is a guy, every team has a pest. Every team has a pest. You think about the Panthers, you think Matthew Tkachuk. You think about the Bruins, you think Brad Marchand. There's obvious ones. Nick Cousins is that guy for the Ottawa Senators, okay? He is a pest. Former Flyer, not super talented hockey player. No offense, Nick Cousins. He's in the league for a reason. He knows his role, and he's a fourth-line player, right? So his job is to be a disruptor. His job is to do these kind of things. He put this dirty hit on Michael Bunting, and I'm telling you, 2-minute penalty. He got a 2-minute penalty for that. I think the league needs to look at that one. I really do. If they thought Bunting was embellishing, they would have called embellishment. That's the ref's power to do. If you think Bunting was flopping there and trying to oversell it, you can call embellishment. They didn't call embellishment, which tells me that was a legitimate bad hit to the head, and there should have been more than 2 minutes there. That's just my opinion. And I'm a rep, so I can tell you my opinion, and I'm probably right. So Michael Bunting, I'm glad he's okay. He kept playing through the game. Brian Rust also got nicked up in that game, but he's okay as well. But the league needs to take a look at Nick Cousins' hit for sure. Because Nick Cousins, if you look back at the penalty sheet again, who's the most common name that you see on there? Who's the main culprit for the Ottawa Senators? It's Nick Cousins. It's Nick Cousins. He got a roughing penalty, okay? He got a boarding penalty. He got an illegal check to the head penalty. I mean, the dude was out there trying to be chaotic. He was trying to cause a ruckus, and he did it. He got in our heads successfully, and he's one of the reasons why the Senators won the game. So can I really be that mad at him? No, I can't be that mad at him. But it sucks. It sucks. Let's talk about something else, please. Can we talk about something else? Yes, let's talk about something else. No matter the goalie, the first shot of the game will be a goal. It is a phenomenon, is what we named it in the Penguins comment section before. A phenomenon that every single time the first shot on goal goes in. Today, the first 2 shots on goal went in. Were they Ned's fault? I mean, not really. And then 3 of the first 6 shots were goals. Then you have to come back from that. And the Penguins are already in a hole. They're, like I said, the refs are losing control of this game. The game is getting out of hand. The goals of scoring are obviously getting out of hand. You get in a hole big enough, it's like, okay, the Senators didn't even try in the third period. They're just cruising. They're on cruise control in the third period. So it's disappointing. It's embarrassing. It's disappointing. But you got to have a short-term memory, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit as well. Because I don't know. I don't know. There's going to be games like this, guys. There's going to be games like this. We know it. We're Penguins fans. We've been watching this team for so long. There are going to be games like this. This is just one of those games. It's like, what more can you really say? I mean, I could say the NHL cost the Penguins. I could say the refs cost the Penguins. They could have done a better job, sure. That's always the case, right? So I sympathize with them a little bit. But Stützle, yeah, that goal, nothing really the refs could do other than blow a whistle. And if they didn't think it was, covered, fine. The Batherson goal was just chaos. Chaos. I mean, and that was part of the refs not, keeping the game under control. It's just chaos. Like, there's guys flying everywhere. There's like 7 or 8 guys diving on the ice. They're all laying down on the ice, and it's like, okay, the puck comes out, and Drake Batherson wide open net. Nedeljkovic is basically being pinned down. Okay, that first period, guys, was basically, okay, UFC, yes, it is on ESPN+. Don't get me wrong. UFC is on ESPN+ right now. But this was not UFC. What did I sign up for? I click on the Penguins game. I feel like I'm watching UFC. I'm like, am I on the wrong broadcast here? Is this UFC on skates? Come on, guys. Come on. Like, the highlights for the first period, other than the goals, fights and hits. There were a lot of hits in that game, guys. It was chaos. And you have to blame the refs. They have to take responsibility for that. That game could have been a lot worse. Guys got injured. There were more guys that could have got injured. We'll see if Brian Rust is okay. He went back out there. Bunting, hopefully okay. He's probably going to have to get checked for a concussion because he got hit in the head. And he's an important player, but he was at the center of all of this for the Pens. And yeah, that's why I said the NHL really screwed the Pens over, because this game got so out of hand. Way too far out of hand. And special teams were an absolute disaster. You can't put it any other way other than disastrous. Okay, our special teams was probably the worst I've seen all year. And that power play has been bad sometimes, but we're talking 0 for 6 on the power play, and they allowed a shorthanded goal. And they gave up 2 power play goals. Senators put on a clinic on the power play and on the penalty kill. That's for sure. And the numbers, they don't lie. The only stat that the Penguins really put up, shots, hits. That's it. Shots and hits. That's what that game was. Penguins outshot the Senators. But I don't value shots on goal as much as some people do. I really don't. We won more faceoffs. Wow, cool. You know what really transpired? We got outplayed. The shots on goal don't tell you the effort. Okay? Watching the game, you could see they were being outplayed. You could clearly see they were being outplayed. Okay? The Penguins got embarrassed. Okay? The Senators came out with a mission and they executed. The Penguins came out flat-footed and were on their heels for 2 periods. That's just what happened. That's just what happened. And you had so many opportunities, so many power play opportunities, failed on every single one of them. It was a disaster, guys. It was a disaster. This is one of those games where you just want to completely forget it even happened and move on. And that is literally the only way forward for the Penguins. Completely forget that that game ever happened. Short-term memory, move on. Yes, we have a goalie debate. We do. Is it Ned's fault that they lost that game? They put up 0 goals. Come on, dude. You guys that want to blame Ned. Okay, last video, I vouched for Ned. I vouched for Ned, and I could have been wrong. Who knows? Maybe the answer is Blomqvist. Is Jarry going to play lights out now? Was Jarry in the NHL, when you play back-to-back games, you start your best goalie against the best team that you play in the back-to-back. So Jarry was going to start against Tampa tomorrow because Tampa is a better team than Ottawa. It's debatable, but I think Tampa's a better team. So Sullivan knows Jarry's still our starting goalie, and Ned, coming off a hot game, there might be some people that think, oh, no, he's a starter now. He got to start against Ottawa. Realistically, he only started against Ottawa because of the game tomorrow, and now I'm guessing Jarry will probably get to start tomorrow because he played really well after he came into the game for Ned. He didn't let in a single goal. So hopefully that's momentum for Tristan Jarry. Maybe coming off the bench is what he needed, and not expecting to play today, he goes in there, and this could change Jarry for the season, guys. And there are positives to look at for this game. Let's just hope everybody's healthy, and let's focus on those. But really, it is one of those games. Let's just forget about it. Have a short-term memory. We play Tampa tomorrow, another huge game. The Lightning are a very good hockey team, and it's going to be another measuring stick game. We get to play our old buddy, Jake Guentzel. Jake Guentzel has been crazy good for Tampa all year. Not surprised at all. Great signing by the Lightning. And they're looking like they won that swap. Steven Stamkos to Nashville hasn't been that great. And then Jake Guentzel's been playing at over a point per game pace. Nikita Kucherov, obviously one of the best players in the league. Victor Hedman, their new captain, has been fantastic. Braden Point has had a career year up to this point. Brandon Hagel has had a career year up to this point. They have a lot of really, really talented players. So it's going to be an interesting game. The Penguins just need to take the momentum that they got from that third period and roll it into tomorrow, really. Short-term memory, but just remember the good. It's selective short-term memory. You don't want to forget that the game ever happened. I mean, again, that's the easiest way for me to describe it, but there are some positives that you can take into the next game, and you see the schedule coming up. Penguins only have one more back-to-back this month, and that's against Buffalo and Washington next week. So I'm excited for that, but right now we got to focus on the Lightning. We just do. And that's a really good team. Like I said, it's going to be a rough one, especially coming off, no rest. Good thing is Penguins don't have to travel. They're at home. They're at home for that game and then against the Kraken as well. So I'm hoping to win those 2 games. And then we have a road trip for the rest of the month. So this is big. Let's end the homestand on a high note, beat Tampa, and beat the Kraken and be right back in the playoff picture. It's one game, guys. Is it really going to decide the season? No, it's not. So let's have a short-term memory. Let's move forward. whatever helps us win. And I trust Sullivan to make that decision. Whoever the best goalie is to start, that's fine. It'll be Jari tomorrow against Vasilevsky, most likely, and it should be a good one. So you guys stay tuned for another video tomorrow here on Penguins Digest. For now, I'm going to say here we go Steelers instead of let's go Pens, because the Pens already played today, and the Steelers have a chance to save the day for the city of Pittsburgh. So thank you guys for watching this episode of Penguins Digest. Not a very fun episode to make when we lose 5-0, but I still, hey, you guys, the support has been fantastic. Love what you guys have been saying in the comment section. Keep lighting that thing up and keep subscribing to the channel, and I'll continue to provide videos every single day for you guys. Again, hit that sub button if you haven't already. We're close to 100 subscribers. I will be so pumped if we get to some milestone here today. So later today, if you guys can pump that up to 100 subscribers, I think we're like a couple away right now. So hit that sub button. And yeah, this is a community, guys. You know, we're Penguins fans. We're Pittsburgh sports fans. And this is, you know, we're all in this roller coaster together. I saw something in the Penguins group earlier today on Facebook about we're all just riding this roller coaster. You know, all the players are on it with us, and that's part of being a fan. You're going to have the good, you're going to have the bad, and you're going to have the ugly. So today was one of those games, but we got another chance to get right back out there tomorrow against Tampa. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Penguins Digest.